The sport of baseball. Baseball has a long history here in the US. Here are the basic rules of the game. Baseball is a bat and ball sport played between the two teams of 9 players. The aim is to score runs by hitting a thrown ball with the bat and touching a series of 4 bases arranged at the corners of a 90-foot diamond. Players on the batting team take turns hitting against the pitcher of the fielding team, which tries to prevent runs by getting hitters out in any of several ways. A player on the batting team can stop at any of the bases and later advance via teammates' hits or any other means. The teams switch between batting and fielding whenever the fielding team records 3 outs. 1 turn at bat for each team constitutes an inning, and 9 innings make up a professional game. The team with the most runs at the end of the game wins. Cellular respiration is the process that releases energy by breaking down glucose and other food molecules in the presence of oxygen. Cellular respiration occurs in 3 stages. The first stage is glycolysis. This stage occurs in the cytoplasm of body cells, and it produces 2 ATP and 2 pyruvate. In the second stage of respiration, the Krebs cycle, pyruvate produced by glycolysis enters the mitochondria. The cycle breaks down the pyruvate down to carbon dioxide and water and produces 2 ATP. The final cycle of cellular respiration is the electron transport chain, which occurs in the mitochondria and also in the chloroplast of plant cells. This process produces a total of 36 to 38 ATP. There are 2 main types of cellular respiration: aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration is the type of respiration that utilizes oxygen. It usually occurs after 40 to plus seconds of continuous activity. Anaerobic respiration is a type of respiration in the body that does not utilize oxygen. For up to 2 to 4 seconds of sustained activity, the body uses ATP already in the cells. For up to 15 seconds of sustained activity, the body uses a combination of ATP and creatine phosphate that creates more energy than regular ATP and therefore allows for longer sustained activity. For up to 30 to 40 seconds of sustained activity, the body uses glycolysis, a part of the regular respiration, to create small amounts of ATP, which allows you to go even further distances. There is another type of anaerobic respiration known as fermentation. There are 2 types of fermentation that both produce ATP in a clinch. The first type, known as lactic acid fermentation, takes pyruvic acid and NADH to produce NAD+ and lactic acid. The body can use the NAD+ as a source of energy to help power the muscles. The other type of fermentation, known as alcoholic fermentation, occurs in only yeast cells and produces NAD+, alcohol, and carbon dioxide from pyruvic acid and NADH. The body uses the NAD+ as a source of energy for the body.
Winning.
In the body, there are 3 types of main muscle fibers that are used during exercise. The first is the slow twitch muscle fiber. These muscles have a low amount of strength, but a very high amount of endurance. These muscle fibers utilize the aerobic respiration system.
An example of aerobic activity that involves slow twitch muscle fibers is walking.
The second type of muscle fibers is intermediate twitch muscle fibers. The fiber of these muscles is glycotic/oxidative, meaning that it utilizes both aerobic and anaerobic energy pathways. These muscles are faster than the slow twitch muscle fibers, but have a decreased amount of endurance.
An example of medium twitch muscle fibers is jogging.
The final type of muscle fibers is fast twitch muscle fibers. These fibers are very fast and very strong, but have very little to no endurance. These muscles utilize anaerobic energy pathways to create ATP.
An example of anaerobic activities that utilize fast twitch muscle fibers are short distance sprinting.
In this simple training exercise, one player pitches the ball to another player at home plate, who bats it back to the pitcher in order to prove the pitching and batting skill of both players. This exercise is 100% anaerobic, as it consists only of short and fast muscle contractions. During this exercise, a player runs the circuit from first base to home plate in order to increase speed, agility, and endurance while running. This exercise is 30% anaerobic and 70% aerobic, as is a medium distance sprint. In this universal training exercise, one player pitches the ball to a player at home base, who bats it to the outfield. The players in the outfield field the ball and throw it to first base in an attempt to get the batter out before he reaches first base. The players rotate positions after a set amount of time to help everyone build different skill sets. This exercise is largely 90% anaerobic and 10% aerobic, as the majority of the action performed by the players is short and fast. After a long day of batting, pitching, catching, and running, the body feels very worn out. You'll often start to feel cramps due to a large amount of muscle contractions. The day after a game, your muscles often feel sore and you often have a burning pain in the muscles used repeatedly during the game. This is due to a buildup of lactic acid in the cells. Lactic acid is a byproduct of lactic acid fermentation, which is a way the body produces more ATP in a pinch. Some methods to help reduce the pain in the muscles is to stretch, relax, and take a hot shower to help the body release the stress and tension.
Bye, have a great time.